Hi friends, welcome to today's piano tutorial. My name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song Colourblind, one of the new songs off of Ed Sheeran's new album, Subtract. So this song is pretty easy to play. There's a few different sections that you have to learn, but I tried to keep it nice and simple in this tutorial so that you can learn to play it for yourself, of course. Anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, so there you go. That is what we are going to be learning today. So a few different sections there, but as you saw, it's a lot of repeated parts, and I tried to keep the right hand pattern pretty much the same throughout so that there's not too much difficulty there. Anyways, before we get into the tutorial, just want to remind you, if you're getting some value, remember to hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments if you have song suggestions or anything, and subscribe so you can see all my videos. Let's get into the video now. All right, so this song is in the key of C major, so we have all white keys. Nice and simple. All right, so let's get started with the verse. So I'm gonna start by walking us through all the chords. We'll learn how to play them in time first, and then afterwards, we'll take a look at how to play the little bit of rhythm that we're gonna add here in the right hand and stuff, okay? So our first chord here is gonna be a C major. So I'll play C, G, C in the left hand and C, E, G in the right hand, okay? And if you can't reach this full octave in the left hand, just go ahead and play C and G. That works just as well, okay? So that is going to be our first chord. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start to walk down in the left hand and just keep it nice and simple, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two top and bottom notes and I'm going to move them down to B. So this is kind of an E minor chord. There's really not an E, but you could say there's an E there. I'm just not playing it here. But this is like an E minor chord with a B in the bass. So we say E minor over B, okay? And here on the right hand, I'm not going to play anything because this is kind of a transitional chord. So we're just going from C major here, then we're going to transition with our E minor over B, down to our next chord now, which is going to be A minor, okay? So A, E, A in the left hand, A, C, E in the right hand, okay? So you see it's like kind of the exact same hand shape here that we had before on the C, but now it's just kind of shifted down to A minor, okay? So on the A minor chord, the next one we're going to go down to is going to be, again, kind of a transitional chord here where we're going to drop the bottom and top notes there. So we'll go to G's here, and this now is kind of like a C major chord, but over a G, and I'm just going to omit that C again. And that's going to transition us down to our next chord, which is going to be F, okay? So F, C, F, F, A, C. Again, it's the exact same hand shape, just kind of shifted down. So you see we went C, E minor over B, A minor, C over G, and now F, okay? And then after this F chord, we're just going to move everything up one white key and go to a G major chord. G, D, G, G, B, and D, okay? So let's take one more look through all those chords. Here we go. C, E minor over B, A minor, C over G, F, and then we end with G, okay? So this song is going to be in a 6/8 time signature, and what that means is we're going to be counting 6/8 notes in every measure, okay? And that'll help us later when we're playing the rhythm, but for now, what we're just going to count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you kind of hear how there's accents on that beat 1 and that beat 4. It kind of divides it in half, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're going to do now to play these chords in time is we're going to give each chord 2 measures, except for those transition chords. So for instance, on the C major chord, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to use the 4, 5, 6 of that second measure to transition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just keep it nice and simple like that, okay? And so in the right hand, we're going to add that in just a minute here, but if you get that left hand down, make sure you get that kind of exactly in time and you kind of get an understanding of where we're playing those main chords being C, A minor, F, and G, and where we're using those transitional chords, you know, the E minor over B and the C over G. So C, then we transition, A minor, transition to F, and back to G, okay? So, once you get that down, now we can begin to add some rhythm in here, and I'm gonna just try and keep it nice and simple here, okay? So, we already kind of learned what these chords look like in the right hand, and we're gonna use these exact same chord shapes, but instead of playing it all together, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of break up these chords. So we're just gonna start with our thumb, and we're just gonna go. We're going to actually skip beat 1 here in the right hand, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just going to walk up and walk back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat that exact same pattern over all the chords. So A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? It'll take some time, but once you get it down, kind of, then it's really just going to be the same thing repeated for the whole song, just using different chords here and there, okay? So let's try and put it together with the left hand now. So if we put that together, it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just repeat. And that's everything for the verse that you need to know. So like I said, I know that'll take some time if you're a beginner to pick it up, but give it some time, take your time, and you'll pick it up eventually, so good luck with that. Next, let's move on to the pre-chorus here. So the pre-chorus is gonna be using some chords we've already learned, but a similar rhythm here. And there's a slight difference, so we'll look at that. So we're gonna start with the F chord, just like we played it before here, and we're just gonna use that same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just gonna get one measure. And now what we're gonna do on the C chord, we're gonna next go to a C chord and then go to a G chord. And these are gonna kind of go really quickly through them. And we're just gonna give half a measure to the C and then half a measure to the G, okay? So obviously we're not gonna have time to complete that whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the right hand if we only have half a measure, right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play the first 2 notes here in the right hand. So those last 2 chords will just sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and we're just not completing the whole up and down rhythm there. We're just kind of playing those first two notes. So we'll start with the F chord and then have that C and G pretty quickly. Repeat that a few times. That sounds like this. And you see there, we're going to end, after playing that first chord progression 3 times, we're going to end with just a simple F chord and a G chord, okay? 1 measure each. All right, guys, you're doing great. We're almost done here. We're going to now tackle the chorus, and the chorus is actually going to be almost exactly the same as the verse with just some minor variations and a little bit change at the end, okay? 1 new section here, okay? So to start the chorus, we're going to start exactly the same as the verse with our C major chord. But then on our transitional chord, just to give it a little bit of a different sound here, instead of just doing a simple walk down here with our kind of E minor over B that we did before, I'm going to do a bigger jump here and go to the E minor with the E's in the bass, you know, and that just kind of gives it a fuller, deeper sound there. And that's going to take us to the A minor chord. That'll take some practice because you're kind of jumping around in the left hand. And honestly, if you want to play it the same way that we played in the verse, just kind of walking down nice and simple, you can do that too. I just like to usually mix things up from section to section so you can tell like, oh, this is the chorus, this is a new section of the song, right? So what that looks like then is this. And then the rest of this, exactly the same how we played it in the verse. And then when we get after the F chord, we're actually going to have one more change here. We're going to go to a C chord now. So C, G, C. And then in the right hand, just to keep your hand movement a little bit less here, I just go G, C, and E here in the right hand. So a slight different pattern here, but we're just going to play the same rhythm as before, just kind of using this new hand position here on that C major chord. And then after 1 measure, we go back to our G chord. One more time through that. Okay, so there you go. Just a little different than the verse. Really, those only 2 changes. Going to the E minor chord as our transitional chord, and then instead of going straight from F to G and giving G 2 measures, we're going to go F, 1 measure on C, and 1 measure on G, okay? Last but not least, here at the end of the chorus, after you kind of go through that chord progression twice, there's a little end of the chorus section here, and it's going to be just a kind of a simple walk up. We're going to keep it nice and simple here, and we're going to start with a D minor chord here. So we'll play D, A, and D in the left hand, and in the right hand, I'm just going to show you these 2 notes here because that's all we're going to end up playing. So I'll play D and F, the first 2 notes there of the D minor chord. And we're just going to take these notes here in this chord and we're just going to walk them up. So this is our D minor. Then we're going to walk up to E minor. So E, B, E, E, and G. Just the exact same hand shapes. Keep going up to F. F, A, C, F, A. F, C, F, F, A. And then lastly, G, G, D, G, G, and B, okay? And these, again, we're going to be going through them really quickly. We're going to just do each chord for kind of half a measure, just for 3 of those 8th notes. So again, we're not going to be going the whole up and down. We're just going to play the first 2 notes in the right hand. So it'll sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we end on a C chord. Okay, so let me just now show you how that chorus goes from the kind of first progression we learned into that last progression of the chorus there, okay? You see, there it is. That's just kind of a nice and simple ending there. Not too difficult, just a couple new chords, but just keep those hand shapes exactly the same and you're just walking up. There it is. Okay, so that's everything that you need to know to learn the song. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. I tried to keep it nice and simple in the right hand with the rhythms and stuff. If you did enjoy this tutorial, remember again, drop a like, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button. Those all do a lot to support me and my channel, and I'd really appreciate that. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.